I didn't think I'd get to like this, but I do. For these two events, I admit having a personal desire to improve my golf and tennis skills. But we also sponsored an annual bowling tournament, which drew over 100 entries for over 35 years before bowling went into decline. Not only had I never bowled, no one asked me to take part in the competition. Not after I accepted an invite on the first time to throw out the first ball, and my effort disappeared into the gutter. Also, collecting in my home garage, with the help of Rotary, hundreds and hundreds of toys prior to Christmas for a church in Jersey City, deprived area, for over 35 years, first by several station wagons and eventually by jam-packed, good-sized trucks. Incidentally, my eyes are tearing. I can't see the words, but I've won over them so many times in the last 2 days that I know it by heart. For Maywood youngsters, we held such super successful projects, several, each attracting close to 350 entries. A space shoot in which they sent up prepared helium-filled balloons with prizes to those who heard from the finders, which averaged about 65 replies of the 350. We got one as far away as Nantucket, over 200 miles. And we had a chicken hatch. It was children. Guess the hour and minute the first developing chick would break through the shell. It happened at midnight, and the winner and his mother were part of a gathering in front of our storefront. Among the prizes given to the boy was a chick he had named Bridget. Part of my role, the role is missing. Part of my role was to be awakened by alarm at 3 a.m. for at least a dozen mornings to drive to the office and check on the primitive heating system we fought in our bursting window to make sure we weren't going to have broiled chicken. It was events such as these which I enjoyed as much as the participant, as well as the tiny fragments of happenings every day which make you realize you made friends as you followed an occupation you always loved. The fourth page is the longest. For example, a recent posting in Facebook by a former Maywoodian, quote, "I always thought of our town as the pulse of Maywood." I love that. And Bill Arbolino, the Record's well-known columnist, using the following quotation in a favorable review of a book I had written about our town. On a subscription renewal, a resident had scribbled, "I'm now 91 years old and unable to read newspapers anymore, but I can't say no to our town, which has always considered a dear friend." Those are great moments. In closing, and speaking for another of today's inductees, my wife of 73 years. Anyone beat that? Together almost every day, even while I was serving in the military in this country. She never let me go. She followed me everywhere I went, and she worked on the field. She worked as a librarian in a medical library. She had 7 delightful jobs while we were traveling the country, thanks to Uncle Sam. Lil would have been so proud of the two of us being honored, and I am even prouder that she was also recognized because she was as important to our community as I was. I don't have that written here. I don't know what made me say it.
Because it's true.
On her desk in her office was an identification sign proclaiming Len Rubin in charge of everything. I was the one that thought that up, but they gave me many happy days. So true. Our category in the Hall of Fame was business, and that brings Lil in front and center. Our town, I suppose, was a business and occupied all the space on our main shopping street for over 40 years. But if not for Lil, our town would have never made it. Making money was never part of this venture to me. Lil was a bit more realistic. She was the business manager. She sold all the advertising. She solo published the playbill for the Bergen Mall Playhouse. She wrote feature articles for our town and the Jewish Standard. She handled some major printing contracts, and she also raised a family. Dinner every night, and both parents and 2 children aboard. She was the annual sidewalk